Welcome back. We left you at the end of part one on the cusp of summer, just as spring goes into summer. The hanging baskets are pretty much over now. The blossoms in the woodland are gone. There's not as many blossoms in summer as there are in spring because it's hot, it's dry, but it's a time for us humans now to start enjoying ourselves, to really take advantage of this brief spell of clement weather, at least here in Northern Europe. And we do. Families are out now. As summer comes in, the excitement grows, we make plans, our summer holidays are booked if we're going on them. The rest of us, like me, are spending all our time out in the countryside. Early mornings for us. We don't like the heat of the midday. Early mornings when it's crisp. And you get up and you go out and it's crisp. But then it soon warms up, you can feel the air warming up, and it's lovely to be out in the English countryside at 6 o'clock in the morning when it's warm, but clear. It is so crystal clear that you can almost see into the future. And we love it. And the trees around us are in full leaf. The animals are out in the field. The birds are really loud first thing in the morning, but then it's quiet during the day. They either go off to feed in distant areas to come back to roost at night, or they're quiet because it's just hot and it gets warmer as the summer comes in, and there's this blanket of heat and it quietens everything down. It deadens the noises, it deadens the smells. That's why I like spring so much, because you can smell the seasons, you can smell the world waking up. But in summer, the scents are somehow deadened. Sensations are deadened, and I think this is a payoff. This is a payoff for the good weather. You don't get something without giving something, and I think the payoff is that we have the warm weather, the sun on our skins, in our faces, the trees completely green at the beginning of summer, the grass a beautiful green, and the payoff is that we lose a bit of the sensations. We lose a bit of the bird call. We lose a little bit of that smell early in the morning, that sharp smell of the world waking up. And as summer progresses, and it gets hot, and then we go through that period where we're all told not to use hose pipes, and the grass in the fields and on the lawns goes brown and dies back. But here in the UK that's only brief. But this is just the seasons rolling on quietly in the background. We've gone from winter where we're all wrapped up in coats and scarves and hats, and it's cold and we brace against the wind and we don't want to go out. Us with dogs, we take the dogs out, sometimes we don't want to because it's so cold and unpleasant and wet, but we've got to do it, and we're wrapped up in big coats that takes us 10 minutes to get ready to go out of the front door. But now we're in t-shirts and shorts, and we haven't really thought about it. We've changed our wardrobe without really thinking about it, because we just accept the seasons rolling along like that tyre on that wheel, where we're a cog in the middle, just going about our business, with the seasons going round us forever, just going round us without us really knowing about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with not taking any notice of the seasons and just accepting them as they come and go. We've plenty enough to think about in our crazy world, haven't we? We've plenty enough to think about in our very brief existences, so don't worry about it. Just change that wardrobe. Just enjoy the change of the seasons. Just make sure you see it though. When you see the architectural branches of winter against an icy blue sky. And it changes, and then there's the green of the buds, the bright green of the new buds, and now we've got the leaves on the trees throwing shadows. There is an actual relief to getting the shadows out of the sun. That's just the seasons rolling by. We don't need to think about it, but I think we should appreciate it. Don't you? So summer goes along, playing its own part on our moods and our state of mind and our mental well-being. But all the time, we are aware of its passing, just like we are in winter, when we actually look forward to winter going into spring, and we count down the days and we look for signs of change. Now we are aware of summer going into autumn, and we start looking for change. And this is a season that we don't want to end, much as we may love autumn. The summer months, those short summer months, those short halcyon days, are the ones we really enjoy. But it's inevitable, and we do. We start looking for signs of change as summer drifts inexorably towards autumn. Each season is designated a specific date on the calendar, and as that date approaches, we start looking for signs. We start looking for signs of change in the colour of the leaves on the trees. We start looking for change in the temperature. We start looking for a change as the days begin to grow shorter again, just a couple of minutes at a time. But we look for that change because we know it, it's familiar, it's been there all our lives, it's part of our lives, there's nothing we can do about it, but we still look for that change. And we still regret it a little bit when it comes, even though there's nothing we can do about it. We start looking, we start digging out the coat and the sweater and the boots and the thick socks. We start digging them out, putting away the summer clothes, the t-shirts and the shorts, the flip-flops and the beanie hats and the sunglasses. We start putting them all away because we know what's coming. But we actually look forward to it because each season has its own magic. And even though some may be more pleasant to us on our bodies and our minds, I think we love each of the seasons because it means we're still here. Another season means we are still here to enjoy it. And I think that's just like a human trait, isn't it? Hoping that we're here tomorrow because we know that we're not going to be here forever. But if we can see another spring, another autumn, another summer and another winter, we'll be grateful. My mother has been saying this is my last summer for the past 15 years, and we'll probably be saying it for the next 15 years. We never know, do we? But then summer's going and autumn's coming, and autumn can be an incredibly beautiful season. And then autumn is here and we see the change in the leaves. They go from green to brown to gold, and we pray that it will be mild, there'll be no wind, because we know that the wind will blow those leaves off the trees and then they will just gather in the inevitable drifts in the woodland against walls in towns, and it's spectacular. We all love looking across a vista of gold and brown and red as the leaves change. It's just the beauty. It's like an oil painting, isn't it? There's no other reason to like that sight than it is a beautiful sight. It means nothing else. It isn't a precursor to anything. It doesn't signify anything spectacular. It just looks bloody remarkable. And I think that's why we love it. We know what's coming. We know winter's coming. We know the harsh, wet days and cold days are coming. But we just kind of all, as soon as we know that autumn is coming in, and we accept it, and we just accept the inevitability of it, then we start making the most of the season, don't we? We're good like that as humans, aren't we? We do make the most of a bad time, of adverse conditions, and then we look out for those days, and once those leaves turn brown and red and gold, we kind of wish they'd stay that way. But as autumn moves on, the winds pick up and we lose them, and we see the leaves falling off the trees bit by bit. We walk through them and it's like flurries of rain or flurries of brown snow as the leaves fall off the trees around us. And we know it's inevitable and we regret it. And we think, well, it's okay because it'll happen again next autumn because we know it's inevitable. Because, like I say, the seasons, they're just going on around us. There's nothing we can do. We don't think about it. But I hope I've kind of tried to explain how important they are and what an influence they have on every single aspect of our lives. Autumn must eventually make way for winter, and our mood changes yet again as the temperature drops and the rain clouds gather. It happens every year, and every year we go through the same process subliminally because we're a lot more in sync with nature than we think. And I, for one, am very happy about that. We shall see you on the flip. Peace and love.